Hi guys, and this video we're going to be having a look at the Neca Cult Classics Series 2 Hall of Fame figures. Now, again, we have 4 figures released in this series. Obviously, immediately, straight away, you can see that I've got one of these out of packet, being Zombie Ed from obviously Shaun of the Dead. Now this figure was never actually released from NECA, to be honest. I'll show you. It's on the back of the packets, the other ones, but it was never actually released. He is just down here, Shaun of the Dead. And there's Zombie Ed there, and I don't know if you could just see, there's a little garden gnome on there with him as well. Now, it's a bit of a weird one. I don't know why it was ever not released at all. It's a good figure. You can get these on eBay, to be honest. They're obviously bootleg figures. I should say they're very good bootleg figures as well. Myself and my friend got one. They do have a sort of like a tacky, sticky feel to them, to be honest, as though the paint's never dried properly, and you could tell that they're not brilliantly painted. I don't know if you could see on the shoulder there, it's the paint's not properly done, and if you move the arms and legs a little bit, you could see where where the arm rubs on the sleeve, it's rubbing the paint off. But for a figure that was never actually released, you can get these from China. You'll have quite a bit of a wait, to be honest, for delivery. But it's a good figure. I'm just trying to get him off the base there, because I can see for some reason he's leaning back quite a bit. I was just going to see if I stood forward a bit. I'll just quickly go through articulation on this while I've got him out. He's got waist articulation there. This part of the arm just above the elbow moves. You've got a pin and socket on the shoulder, and head movement as well. I'm not going to move him, to be honest, because he's quite hard to move, and he comes with this neck and wrist shackles which you have to put together, and it's quite hard to get the neck piece all together and his head in the right position so that it's closed, to be honest. That was all quite tough to do, and you don't get the little gnome with him. I haven't been able to find anyone anywhere that's been able to get the gnome, to be honest, but for me, you know, I don't see why they would bring out 2 jigsaw killers for this series and not this figure. I dare say if they only brought out one of these jigsaw killer and Zombie Ed, I could warrant that, but I can't warrant why they'd bring out 2 jigsaw killers and not Zombie Ed. I'm just going to grab the Shaun of the Dead Winchester pack, and you can basically see it's the same Ed figure, which is in the Winchester 2 pack. Obviously got his t-shirt on there and all that, and a different head sculpt, obviously being zombified and that, but it's the same, obviously, in the trousers and the Nike trainers and all that. But hey, I don't know who makes these decisions. So that's the Zombie Ed figure. Like I say, you won't get it in packet, so don't bother trying to get it in packet, to be honest. Right, so the legitimate figures you get are, as I've already mentioned, 2 Saw jigsaw killers, one from Saw 2 and one from Saw 3. Now obviously just assuming that's Amanda in the red robe there. Now, as with Cult Classics Series 5, which also decided to bring out 2 Jigsaw killers in that series, we have the 2 here. Very little difference in the variants, apart from obviously the pig head and the red robe, as opposed to John with hair and the black robe. Billy the puppet is again in the back of the packaging with his little tricycle, both exactly the same. So if you do, like me, have both from Series 5 Cult Classics and these, you now have basically 4 of virtually the same figure, and you have 4 Billy the Puppets with tricycles. Yay! Now, I know I'm moaning a bit. I absolutely love the Saw films. I'm one that will fly the flag for the Saw films, to be honest. Absolutely love them. I've watched them all back to back a couple of times, but I've got to be honest with you, this is really annoying when Neca has brought out 4 of essentially the same figure with the little variants. But as I always say, it's up to them. They want to make money. There's no difference in apart from the heads, absolutely no difference in the body sculpts whatsoever in terms of the hands. This one does have a little bit of blood on the blade, which I don't think any of the others do, to be honest. I think that's the only one with blood on the blade. On the back of the packaging, I'm doing these 2 together because I might as well, because they're both essentially the same thing. We obviously have a picture of John Kramer there, and pig-headed, which I'm saying is Amanda, on there. And we have the 4 figures from the series, being Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, John Kramer in Saw 2, John Amanda, Saw 3, and Ed from Shaun of the Dead. The little write-up is: obsessed with teaching his victims the value of life, John Kramer, a deranged sadistic serial killer, abducts the morally wayward. Once captured, they must face impossible choices in a horrific game of survival. The victims must fight to win their lives back or die trying. And like I say, the pictures of the 2 respective figures there. So these were released in 2007, and of course there's nothing new I'm going to tell you about these guys. Very easy to pick up. You're not going to pay a lot of money for them, to be honest. In my opinion, the flagship figure of this Hall of Fame line is, of course, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. Quite a hard figure to get hold of in terms of quite rare, and it does sometimes fetch a pretty price as well. Of course, comes with the movie poster there. For me, I absolutely loved this film, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, as well as the reimagining or remake of the original. But for me, I loved it. I loved the job they did with it, and I love what Neca have done with this figure. The detail gone into him is absolutely fantastic. So down the bottom here it says Leatherface, features chainsaw, mallet, cleaver, hook, which is just behind there, interchangeable arm, which is down here, which is in the bent pose to hold the mallet, I guess. Sorry, or the meat cleaver. Interchangeable head, which has obviously got the stitched up faces on there, and a little diorama base. It's a little desert diorama base, to be honest, on there. It's all quite bent up in there, and obviously when you take it out of packet, you're gonna have to straighten them out a bit. Probably need a hairdryer or something, or some warm water, soak it in warm water to straighten them up a bit. On the back, it's 1969, the conflict in Vietnam has exploded to immeasurable proportions, and 18-year-old Dean Hill's number is up. but before Dean can report for duty, his brother Eric and their respective girlfriends head across Texas for some carefree fun. Unfortunately, the Hewitt clan, Sheriff Hoyt, Luda May, Old Monty and Thomas Hewitt, aka Leatherface, have other plans for them. So, and obviously a great picture on the back there of the figure as well. Now this is the same figure that comes in the box set of the beginning, which I'll just grab that, just show that to you there. So it's essentially the same figure that comes in that box set, what's called basically the bench box set, which I'll obviously do a separate video for them at some point, but just in case you're wondering, so that is the same figure there. And I have had the bench box set previously and had it, so I've had it out of packet, so I can vouch that it is an amazing figure, to be honest. So that is Neca Cult Classics Hall of Fame Series 2 for you guys. As always, thanks for watching, take care, obviously leave comments, please subscribe, and I'll catch you all again soon. Thanks very much, bye bye.